Hi again. These are the joys of doing live video. So today we're talking about triggers and being able to notice them. So the example that I draw on from recent times is when my partner very lovingly, gently made a joke about my laugh and how loudly I was responding to something, and it's something that I do all the time, and it did bring up something for me which I've been able to connect back to my early high school years. So I have sort of a big sort of deep fear of outshining, of being too loud, of being too brilliant, and that in some way that will make other people feel bad. And when I was a kid, the other kids did respond in that way. So if I was to do something like singing on the stage or doing well in a test or something like that, they would find every opportunity to bring me down. So that taught me, I learned as a young person that it was safer to be quiet, to stay small. And I certainly know that that is not true. However, this is what was embedded in me. That was the learning that I got. And so when somebody makes a comment about me doing something that is like loud or lavish and you know, even from the most loving place, that triggers a very painful place in me. It triggers the part that says, you should be small. It's safer to be small. By being loud and being brilliant and being yourself, you will make other people feel bad. So that's the trigger for me. And we all have so many different triggers around so many different topics. Money is a really big one. That's something I'm getting very conscious of now. And especially in relationships, if we aren't able to notice these triggers and work with them and try to heal that place, then we definitely have the potential to cause unintended pain, because it's not from now, it's from the past, right? So I encourage you to, one, just get really good at noticing. For me, there's quite a specific physical response. So when a trigger like this happens, I can either feel it in my chest, a tightening in my chest, or in my stomach. If it's a shame-related trigger, then it would probably be in my stomach. And I know that feeling really well now. So I can be like, oh, okay, what's this causing for me? And now, because I am in such an open, beautiful, communicative relationship, I can say it in the moment. I can say, that's really triggering something for me. That might not be the case for you, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that you notice that that trigger has been triggered. Yeah, that's the right use of words. And just step back from it. You don't even have to respond to it in that moment. Just be like, okay, I'll log that for later. And develop a disposition of curiosity. See if you can find out a little bit more. Get investigative. What is it that thing caused in me? That feeling of discomfort. Where do I think that came from? And I think beautiful ways to do this are through writing, if that's something that makes you feel good. Writing these feelings out in a journal often will uncover what it is the original cause of pain was, and maybe talking about it with a trusted friend. Reflecting on it over time is great. You don't need to have all the answers straight away. You don't need to solve it immediately or in the moment. But I think it's by becoming curious and like being like a Sherlock Holmes of your own emotional responses that you can uncover the original causes of that discomfort. And even if you don't know how to heal that in the moment or even after some reflection, that's okay. You can just say to the other person, that actually makes me feel a bit uncomfortable. And by doing that, you immediately move out of blame and judgment and criticism. And I think, to be honest, that's where so many relationship problems come from. They're from the triggers. They're not really from the other person, because especially in an instance like this, the other person isn't trying to cause you pain. They've just stepped on a stone that is wobbly for you. So that's not their fault. By lashing out and reacting to them, then that could trigger something in them, and it causes ill will between the two of you. And then maybe that person doesn't want to speak openly, or they hold back from being themselves because they don't want to trigger you. So bringing it to the surface and recognizing what's going on is the best opportunity you have for moving through it and getting bigger and getting to know yourself more. And that's what all of this is about. So 1, you can have peace in your relationship, and 2, you can have peace with yourself. We don't have to be dominated by our emotions. Conscious awareness allows us to notice that that's happening without responding. That's the ultimate goal. We can be like, yeah, okay, there are emotions, they're happening, that's related to something in the past, but I don't have to live my life ruled by that. So it's a huge amount of freedom that comes from noticing. So in the blog this week, I'm going to dive in a little bit more to some other kinds of scenarios and what we might do next. When we notice, we're like, okay, that's something. I'm going to get curious about that. And then where do we go from there? But for a long time, it might just be the noticing. That might be, enough work for you to do. And it will make a huge difference in your relationships when you can do that. So ask yourself this week, where am I feeling uncomfortable? What's coming up for me? When did I respond in a way that seemed actually disproportionate to the situation? And make a note of those things, even jot them down. Ultimately, we have the choice to live a life of all the freedom and love and abundance that you could possibly imagine. This is just another one of those opportunities. So ask yourself, how much do I want to live in that place? How much do I want freedom? How much do I want beautiful, deep, meaningful relationships? It's all available to you. And as you can tell, I don't have the answers for your triggers. Nobody else has the answers except you. So when you dive in and you spend time with yourself, your all-knowing, beautiful, wise self, you will find the answers. So good luck with that for this week. If this resonates with you or anyone you know, please share it with them. And I wish you all the very best on noticing your triggers. Mwah.